Hello, it's time for some Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. As it tends to be when an episode of it comes up. It'd be weird if you clicked this and it was like, today we're playing Armored Core 4. Like, that's a great game, but you'd be a little bit confused. So what did I leave undone last time? Guess we'll start off with some crab hunts or centaurs. I think that's what they are. I think these are crabs. I really love the music in the volcano. I think even if I didn't have a reason to come here, I'd want to come here. Alright. So I'd ask how everyone's doing, but that's kind of it's a fruitless thing to ask during a recorded video. I hope well, for what it is. I'm mostly just chilling. Doing what I can. Having games to play helps. I find sometimes, without wanting to sound entitled, there's elements of the generation we're living in that are kind of wear on me every now and then. You know, there's a lot of things going on right now that are kind of reminders that while we're very, very, very lucky in some ways, we're deeply unlucky in others. It's just like going through and reading about how easy it was to support a family back in the day on much more menial work, we'll call it. And then I compare it to, you know, what I'm doing myself nowadays. And I feel like the job that I'm doing 20, 30 years ago, given it's like technical and whatever, would have been enough to live a life that right now I don't even know if I'm ever going to be able to get. You know, maybe if I'm lucky, I'll slowly be able to piece it together. And even then, I don't have a terrible amount of confidence. I guess I'm just kind of thinking about, like, the janitors who were able to raise a full family and buy a house. You know, I think it used to be something that seems like, at least from my perspective, having not been there, it seems like there's this possibility that whatever you were doing could reward you with a life that really felt worth living. And nowadays it feels, I don't know, not like that. Like, you get a job and you should be lucky just to eat sometimes. Even if you're working hard, even if you're doing something that somebody generations before you would have been very, you know, impressed by, or would have been in a very good position as a result of. Like, nowadays, unfortunately, even if you're in a position where, like, you're making incredibly good money, you know, you're, like, approaching 6 figures or something like that. I think money like that before probably gave a lot more prestige, but nowadays it's kind of like you have to get there if you want to live better than your parents. You know, for the most part, if you were lucky enough to even have like a middle class upbringing, replicating that, having the house and the car and the pets and the big Christmases and all of those things takes a lot more than it used to. And it's frustrating people like defend that sort of thing, because at the end of the day, it's not like that's just the inherent way it should be or the natural progression of what makes most sense. It's just greed. You know, it's folks realizing that if they take more, a broad majority of folks aren't going to take action to stop them from doing that, despite there being lots of threats in doing it. You often see, like, for example, when I was younger, I had a lot of friends that I think worked in and started taking jobs in very blue-collar industries, and there's nothing in the world wrong with that. Working with your hands is a really admirable thing. But that's not really the point I'm going to make. They had a lot of anti-union sentiment. They had a lot of odd opinions, and with stuff like that, you would often see them as the biggest defenders of the exact things that were, like, subjugating them and making their lives harder, which is really kind of funny. It was like, at times, I think it's a manipulation by bosses, by, you know, the owners of organizations, and especially, you know, small companies, where owners come in with this perspective that I'm the owner, I'm putting in 200% more time than anyone else, and I should make 200% more than anyone else. And I'm not saying if you're the owner of something, you shouldn't be the chief, you know, recipient of the benefits of whatever that company creates. You should be, especially if you made it. But it also kind of puts you in a position where, instead of thinking logically, you can think very selfishly. So, you know, you could be a business operator that is very, very against heightened taxes that pay back to people, make their lives easier, support, you know, the creation of the workers that you're aiming to hire, support the systems that support them, and at the end of the day, too, support the creation of the infrastructure that you're building your business on. But most people don't look like that. They look at it as, well, I know this road is here. I know I didn't build this road. Maybe you did, but chances are you didn't. But I want to use the road privately, even though it was created publicly. And they want to transit that kind of perspective to a lot of elements of the business, whether it's how much you should pay people, how much, you know, you should submit into taxes, how much you want to take as your personal salary from the earnings, how unfair you want to be with your staff, because it stops being a moral or an intellectual question. You can get so involved when you are the biggest stakeholder in something that you just want to win. You just want things to go your way. And you forget that there are other lives on both sides. And that leads to a lot of greed. I think it leads to abuses. What does that have to do with Monster Hunter? Nothing really. We're just tracking down some crabs. You know, we're probably just respawning. No, there's a few folks that I know who have, I don't even know, I don't want to put a label on it, but a perspective that's very selfish. It's one that is very private in regards to how they think things should be run, how things should be handled, what people should be responsible for. And yet it has no answer for how to maintain the quality of life that people want privacy over now. In that, like, you know, the example with the roads there. You know, I know lots of people, especially, you know, in construction industries and stuff like that, who would be of the opinion that, oh, I don't want to pay taxes, I don't use that, I don't go to the hospital, so I don't want to contribute towards that. you know, whatever. I just want to work my job and make my money and do whatever I want. But they forget the fact that they go to work on a public road. The supplies they get are brought to them because of the transport and infrastructure that exists. People want these jobs because we're creating a society where getting money and interacting with the society is rewarded. You know, there's a lot of benefits, and there's a lot of elements of, you know, you can't be where you are without all of these other things kind of existing first. But then people get to the point where they have them all, and they kind of take them for granted. And instead of going, well, okay, to keep these things, we have to keep kind of like giving back into them. They go, no, okay, I'm just gonna stop that. It doesn't make any sense. You know, you can't just decide something is going to stick around, and that you're going to be able to continue to reference it if you don't continue to take the steps that are required to have it there, or that got it there in the first place. So that's always so mind-boggling to me. People can be really selfish, even if they don't realize that they've been recipients of social design their entire lives. I think even somebody who is outraged by how things are and refuses to participate in it, you know, that the rage, the flavor of their frustration, the words they use, for better or worse, are probably influenced by the exact same thing. Their whole lives are built in these dynamics, and it's really tough to see outside of them. And that's true for people who have it work for them, but could have things work out better just as well. We get so comfortable. We don't want to consider a new path, even if it's radical. And then there's a difficult divide, too, between being radical for the purpose of bringing about a positive outcome, or being radical because you feel desperation, or you feel unheard, or you feel a strong sense of incompatibility. You know, it's the question of, are you making something better for everyone involved, or are you breaking something because you don't like it? And I think most people, at least when it comes to taking radical action, are either viewing it as a sort of punishment, or you know, an excursion of judgment, whereas a much smaller percentage is looking at taking dramatic actions solely because what is overall in place right now isn't benefiting everyone the way they think it is. Well, there's probably a few different reasons for that. We're not exactly motivated to think in that perspective. But I would also argue we're not really good at it. We don't practice. And sometimes people get upset with you. I work in a position all the time where you could have the technically correct answer, but there are so many elements of dealing with people's preconceived notions that you kind of have to tamper down on the truth just to make sure somebody's going to be comfortable with it. And sometimes that means giving less than what is exactly the truth, and I don't like doing that type of thing. But it's also worth noting that sometimes that is just what people prefer. Not everybody has the capacity for it. which is a justifiable concern to raise. You know, what if a radical action disqualifies people from being able to participate in society? And it's kind of a shame, because I think that does happen, but on a less radical scale. You know, maybe it's accelerating now, and there's more visibility onto that sort of thing, so maybe, you know, there's a... you could feel the squish a little bit more if you're the type of person who's sensitive to that. But it's always been happening. You know, like, you look at someone like, you know, like a grandfather. Someone who's probably loving and insightful and has wisdom. But all of those things are kind of diffused through a worldview that, probably through no fault of their own, it's not like someone sits there and thinks, oh, I'm going to become out of touch and intolerant. Like, certainly some people do, but most people don't actively just, like, wait for it to happen or seek it out. It kind of happens around you. Sometimes even unintentionally. And then you can get to a position where you haven't interacted with the world for a while, or you just focusing on your world, and when you return to it, the language is different. And what your expectations are is different. And it's not like someone comes through and says, oh, hey, Grandpa, here are all the new words. Here's where it came from. Here's, you know, some first-hand accounts and a breakdown of, like, the history of what this thing is. Very few people take the time to do that. And that doesn't excuse someone being cruel or, you know, unfair or violent because of that misunderstanding. I think it's just important to remember that, like, the Simpsons meme, it'll happen to us too. Now, that being said, does it have to? Because that's kind of the crux of the issue there, right? Is, sure, this thing is happening, and society is moving forwards. What can you do about the people who it's leaving behind? Will we ever reach a point where, like, you're not evolved enough to participate in certain things? Will it kind of be like a MMORPG? Like, I'm really glad you completed the base game, but unfortunately, you haven't been able to get the expansions, so you can't get to these levels, you know? Like, what will that present as if we get to a point where some sort of perspectives are so foreign? You know, like in some sci-fi, killing animals is considered inhumane because you can create the food through other means, through, you know, generation or whatever. There's other methods. So killing animals is an unnecessary butchery. Would you have to just, like, phase out people who couldn't make that connection? What if you know, you had somebody who was a hunter their entire life, and that's just what they think about for food, and that's how they approach getting it. It's not malicious for them, it's just a matter of a fact, and they can't change that. Does that person get kicked out? Do we just wait for them to, like, die and change the rules around them? I don't really know what the right answer is. It's just there's a lot of questions that could be brought up fairly. Alright, let's see what's next here. Quick stop at the little market here. Just buy one potion, one antidote. Is that all I need? Alright. Make sure we're topped up on a few things we're going to be using there. Cool. Alright. Now, with that addressed, slay 20 Hermitars. Okay, so that opened up behind. But let's go do this 15 pieces of coal really quick. We need coal to power our ambush spear cannon. Go to the volcanic belt and mine the reserves there. If you're worried about pickaxes, combine a long cylindrical bone and a rock. Okay, well, I'll bring some old pickaxes of my own here. Because there's usually like one required gathering quest. I imagine this is going to be the one for this rank. Or star level, or whatever you want to call it. I guess it's all okay. And I have 2 stacks of the old pickaxes there, so I can only imagine I'll be fine. Now the main question is, can I find all of the mining points? I'm pretty sure I found and used a fair amount. Although, they weren't inclined to spit nothing but coal. So we will have to see how lucky we get. Or, you know, possibly the drop rates are changed for this episode. Or episode. They're changed for this mission, maybe. Who knows? Alright, well, I feel like I've ruled out these ones as options. Oh, is that... That's the flame one that I'm going to be hunting in a little bit. Cool to see it. Doesn't seem like tremendously... Are these coal deposits, by the way? No, just whetstone. Hi, crab. Bye, crab. Okay, have fun with that. Alright, well, at least we're going to be able to get this one. Probably gonna get attacked here. Who knows? Okay, I think we need 15. Now we have 3, 4, 5. Nice, 6. And... okay, we got 6. Cool. I'll pop up here really quick to see if there's anything. I don't think there is. Oh, you know what? I am completely incorrect. There are 2 things here. Cool, okay. I just don't want to get my coal stolen from me. I think that's 8. I think that's 9. I might be wrong, but we'll check in a second. Oh, can I only turn in so much of it? That sucks. Oh, right. Whatever. I'm sure there's more in like 4 or 5 or something that's closer than going all the way up here. I love hearing the sounds this guy makes. He's pretty fun. Alright, we'll scoot on through 3 to 2. Down all the way to 1. Not terribly exciting doing a coal run. seeing a new crab. That's kind of always exciting. In real life too, I would argue. You know, like even I come from a people that have a lot of association with the sea. So, been around crabs and lobster traps and all that sort of thing. But, doesn't mean I don't get excited to see one. Okay, I think I need just 5. So if I can get 5 here, I am sitting pretty. One more game? Oh. Grave disappointment. I need to go all the way over here instead. Nice. Okay, I don't need more than this. Let's go. That one piece of coal is mine. I'll keep it forever. And boom. Yeah, okay. That does just turn to money and points, which is pretty cool. Probably not a bad quest to grind out if that's something that you wanted to have happen. Yeah. Alright, to the chest with all of the good stuff. Off to the farm we go, basically. Neat. Did I use any items during that? Not really, so that's fine. Now we get, kind of like, yeah, there's some of the big things left. I think that's mostly what we've chewed it down to, with the exception of doing this 20 Hermitar that my logic requires me to complete first. It's like finishing all the small chips before you start eating the really, really big ones. Is this the arena? Oh, that's awesome. Kind of a unique interaction. Are they just gonna keep on spawning in? I hope so. The toughest part about these sorts of quests is that you have to, like, track them down. You're gonna get a whole whack of carbs, though, so that's pretty awesome. And we get to listen to some fun tunes. Alright, I'm into it. Okay, clearly not time for carbs. Maybe it's now time for carving? Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of this format of quest. Just bring it on. Drop it right onto me. Let me go fast. With an enemy like Hermitar too, it's kind of nice because they're not terribly tough. Although I think there could be, you could do this with some tough monsters and it could be fun as well. Like I could see a version with any of the raptors, maybe like 4 of the dino Hermitars or something like that. Couple of giant kakus. Doing too many multiples is kind of hard to tell, but... And then some movesets just become like really restrictive if they could spam them. So it's not that I don't think the challenge is possible, just that I don't think it would be worth, you know, spending your mortal time on. Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of the tunes, though. Okay, I just got my sharpness in. Perfect. I mean, as if I'm gonna let all of these carbs go to waste, but if you hit me, I'm going to have to risk it. 5 monsters left. Alright, Carpathian Brains. Awesome. I think those just turn into account points, but whatever, that doesn't matter. We will be rich in account points. Okay. I'm probably just safer to go for the thing that just passed away to get a carve. 2 more. And we see it. The end to this Coliseum struggle. Smacking my cat again. Man, it feels like playing Hell Let Loose and dudes just keep on jumping in front of where I'm shooting. It's like they forget that guns are lethal. You asked for 20, you get 21. Alright, now can I get both carbs or not? This one looks like it's already going. We'll try this fresh one. Yeah, okay, I got 4 brains, 6 shells, 4 sharp claws. Hard to be upset with that, although why I need a Farcaster in this situation, I don't know. I hope I get to keep that, honestly. That'd be even cooler. Kind of would be my preferred way of having this all work out. Then, arguably, I could kill these crabs and get Farcasters for free. Or get paid to get them. So, you know, that's not too bad. Cool. Some tuna, a lot of fish and stuff. That kind of makes sense. You know, really quickly before we go look at the next quest, I wanted to talk to this guy. Are there any renovations? Okay, so I can start saving up for the new mining point. Perfect, that's good to know. It's very worth getting. So we'll save up for that and continue looking forwards to it. Something I'm also curious about is where... Okay, Eye of Prey, that's great. Guardian Vest, I'm sure is lovely. We're here to look at the Blongo Mail. So that's like a tier up of armor. but it's still not stronger than the upgrades I've put on. And I have 13 of these spheres, so I could upgrade this set more if I needed to. Is there any upgrading on my weapons I could do? No, I haven't got the Fire Wyvern fluid here. And on the Ravager Blade, I'm waiting on one Dragonite, and then I can go to the Ravager Blade Plus, which I should start using after I can do that. So, Dragonite ore, okay. We'll, let's make sure I have some pickaxes if I go to the Volcano Island area. Okay. So, if that's the case, I'd like to do something in the volcano that has me... Ooh. Alright, so I guess the volcano hunts that are new... Shogun Centaur is probably the better approach first. So upon our trip into the cave of the volcano, an enormous Shogun Centaur dropped down from the ceiling right on top of us. Its ambush caused massive damage. Rid the world of that scourge. Which we will do. Because we're good little monster hunters. Now, if memory serves, he's up more to the north of the map. Although, you know what? I don't know if we're actually given directional bearings. That could be south. You know, maybe the map's, from my expectations, upside down. I literally have no idea. I think I'm picking the wrong way to get good mining spots, though, so I'm actually... Are you fighting each other? No, you're fighting my cat. I'm going to go the other way. Just to try and get a piece of Dragonite out of all this. Because if I can, that'll be really awesome. And it'll put me in position to massively upgrade my sword. We're gonna break my pickaxe every single time here. Wow, didn't stand up to it at all. Okay, that's an empty mining spot. That looks pretty cool. I don't really understand the physics of it, but it's cool. And by, like, the physics of it, I mean more like, shouldn't it be overflowing? Oh, well. Well, here's our dude, so I guess we'll mine as we come across stuff that's relevant. Kind of like Daimyo Hermitar before it, I don't have a great recollection of the movesets here. This will be the first one of these I fought in a while, but that's not really a big issue. It's fun to fight new things. Or things that you're not super familiar with, whatever it is. It's fun to push your own understanding of how good at the game you are. I think it's probably one of the only reasons that some people are frustrated with Monster Hunter World and Rise. Well, there's some legitimate complaints. I feel it's sad that they lost out on a lot of the cool weapon design and picked something a lot more standardized and approachable. with the reuse of a lot of monsters, or not bringing forwards ones that people haven't fought for a while. That's a shame and a valid complaint. And can you, like, come down here or something, buddy? Like, should I go mining? Is that what I'm learning here? Because I will. Is this a mining point? Well, I will mine right now. Yeah, drop down on me. Stop me from... Thank you. Let's fight. Let's not hang out. Oh, nice. Okay, that was a knockdown or something, I think. Oh, I think I've lost my sharpness, which actually makes this notably difficult. Because I gotta get very specific hits. Ooh. Otherwise, I'm stuck in this situation where I just need to get out, sir. Thank you. Okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you do that. I just really want you to get distracted enough that I can, you know, sharpen my sword. But given that you're leaving now, I guess that is the case. I don't like how aggressive these things are. That's always seemed like a bad gamble to me. You know, like being one of these herbivore creatures, watching like little dudes swing around giant swords and fight monsters that are even bigger than you by far. Oh, tried to dodge there. Kinda did, kinda didn't. Oh, okay. Not great. I thought I maybe had sonic bombs. I don't. Alright. I think I got lucky with what did connect through that hit, so that's pretty awesome. Oh, is this another stagger? Perfect. I must be actually getting pretty far through this thing. Ooh. Valid. I got delayed because I hit those bugs. Either way. Oh, another dig, eh? Interesting. Oh, okay. He did a poke and then he came through. Oh, crabs and your weird movement patterns. And your face that looks a little bit like a crescent moon. Alright. Ah, shame. I need to sharpen again if I can. We'll see if I get an opportunity. Oh, we totally do, because he's going for my cat. Even if he decides to go for me, I'll probably get the sharpness at least. Okay, that's it. Just as pop-up. Now we can actually go in. Hello, sir. You are a crab. I'm person waiting to attack you when you come to the surface. Can we reconnect? Here's my business contact. Beautiful. Well, you did come in for a hug, so, you know, I have to respect your accommodations and how willing you're being to meet with me in the middle here. Ooh. Alright. I'm wondering, really, where am I in regards to... Yeah, I was gonna say, like... I feel like I'm dealing a reasonable amount of damage, but I have no way of telling if that's going to be grounds for him going already. If he's, like, at that injured point. I think I've used up my whetstones already, so if he's not near death, I might be in a bad position. Ow. I mean, I was in a bad position there, so... If that's what we're going off of, this is going to go really great. Okay. Let's get some side hits into that vulnerable flesh. Oh, you're just going to... Okay, cool. No complaints about winning. So we got a Centaur shell. Another Centaur shell. And another shell. Okay, I mean, like, it's mostly shell. That feels within reason. So I can't be upset at it. Now, if I could get a Dragonite here, that would be top tier, life is good. But I probably... no. Is there another mining point that I can really quickly access? Darn, it's a shame too, because I'm really close. Oh well. We'll get more Dragonites soon. Well, with that giant crab put out of the way, let us see what else we can dive into. Actually, you know what? It might be worthwhile just to go and see if we can get a piece of Dragonite from this gathering quest. And it'll kind of help us clear out the quest from our log anyways. So, we don't really need anything. Maybe we'll take... Okay, that's all I was going to take anyways, so... Oh, and you know what? Okay, yeah, I have 4 pickaxes. That should be enough to... try and get what I'm looking for. We're going to go all the way up to 8 first. We're going to try and mine there. It's mostly just because I want to be able to get that Ravager Blade. I think that's going to help us carve through everything to come really quickly. When I get a frog, that'll let me go back and get Plesioth pretty quickly. It was just because I like completing everything. Let's try 1 here. One whole pickaxe. I'll go until I break something. Okay, well, it was worth doing. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Now I think the red area is gonna have a higher chance of giving me something like Dragonite. I could be entirely wrong with that assumption. But I just feel like the closer you are to the tip, the better your chances are getting what you want. So maybe we'll see. A lot of jewels, iron ore, Mocholite ore. Nothing. Come on, game. I need one piece of Dragonite ore. Oh, rust stone. That's really cool. Now, I'm pretty sure... Oh, okay, I haven't thought about these for a while. Rust stones are like weapons. And I'm pretty sure you can polish them. Oh, wow. You can polish them in a way that turns them into regular weapons, I think. So that's pretty awesome. I will have to refresh my memory about the specifics of it. Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay, you know what? No. I'm going to need my jewel. Disc stones are great, even though they're not exactly what I need right now. Getting a lot of good stuff. Oh, okay, wow, there's another one up here. Yeah, it really is a gathering run, isn't it? Okay, broke another pickaxe. Got more iron. Yes, I got Dragonite. Awesome. Okay. Well, I've basically got everything I need now, but I'm going to... I'm here, right? So I might as well. Finish up. See what I can get. Oh, I got a flat ruststone. I'm just getting lots of cool things. Rainbow ore. Another flat rutstone, whatever, man. Give me all them good rocks. Alright. I think that's mostly it. I'm on my way back now. And let's see. The flat ruststone. Yeah, same sort of message. For my recollection of rust stones is that they're really rare, or that a worthwhile thing from them is very rare. I can't remember which one it inherently is, so I don't know if I should be excited that I got 4, which given I got 4 seems possibly unlikely, or get excited when they turn into something worthwhile. We will see. On the bright side, we're going to get the Ravager Blade Plus, so even if it doesn't turn into anything useful for us, we're going to go ahead and make it ourselves. Getting... Well, at this point, that's a really strong weapon. We will be much better equipped for things like the Kushala Deora, if that's the weapon we have in our hands. So, we're one step closer to getting it. Yeah, and, you know, throw in some, coal, why not? Oh, that's, you know, that's a pretty good way to get Poke points. Maybe it'd be worth my time to do some grinding off screen, just to get the Poke points, to get the better mining thing. We'll see, though. We will see. Oh, I don't really need this, but whatever. I'll drop it off in a second anyways. Alright, well we got that little bit of mining done, so let's go and upgrade the sword. Weapon craft, improve. We're going to improve the Ravager Blade Plus. This is going to be great. And we're going to equip it, absolutely. Now, moving forwards, it can become the Chrome Razor, which is mostly Elder Dragon parts, but looks pretty cool. Or we can do the Tactical Blade, which is Elder Dragon stuff as well, and Rathlos stuff, which looks so cool. Both of which are going to become amazing weapons. 960 on that one. 816 on that one. I think they can both be upgraded a little bit more too down the road. So, with a new weapon on our back, we'll refresh some of the items that we need and prepare for... Oh, you know what? Prepare for more potential mining with pickaxes. But actually prepare for the rest of the 4-star or 4 whatever quests here in the village of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Thanks for checking out this episode.